Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back to talk about all of the fragrances that I wore last week. As always, I'm going to just jump right in. So I started off this week still on kind of a Chloe kick, and I pulled out my original Chloe. This is the Chloe EDP. Yeah, just the original Chloe EDP. This is gorgeous. This is a beautiful, very classy, elegant, very unique, fresh rose. This is definitely in my top 10 for life fragrances. I could not live without the original Chloe. I just think it is the most beautiful, classy fragrance ever. This would be a contender. Like if I had to pick one perfume for the rest of my life, this would be a hardcore contender. I just love this. People either really love this or really hate it. I absolutely adore it. I do need to get a silver cloth because this is silver and mine is all, my bottle is so tarnished. So yeah, I do need to get a silver cloth and clean my bottle. But anyways, that is Chloe, the original EDP. I adore this. I just love Chloe fragrances in general. They are some of my favorite fragrances ever. Okay, next, this is one that I wore to bed. I don't wear this out because it just does not last on me, but I do actually really love this fragrance. This is Poison Girl Unexpected from Dior, and this is beautiful. This is basically Poison Girl with the tonka bean, and I think it's vanilla tonka bean. It's a really beautiful, yummy smelling fragrance, but this one has a bunch of ginger in it. So it's really beautiful. I did, like I say, I wore this to bed because it just doesn't last long enough to really do anything else with it. I might in the wintertime like try wearing it. This is an eau de toilette as well. And I might in the wintertime like try wearing it, you know, for a day. But I know I've already tested it like a whole bunch, and yeah, it just doesn't last very long. I do love it, but the Poison Girl line, they're like my least favorite from the Poison line. I like them, but I don't think they're anything spectacular. But anyways, yeah, that is Poison Girl Unexpected. It's really actually a pretty one. Next, I wore a Burberry fragrance. I did wear this one to work. I layered this over Lush Sleepy Lotion, and it was a beautiful combination. This is Burberry Brit Rhythm. This is such a beast. Like, I don't know that I've ever met a Burberry fragrance that isn't an absolute beast. And this is definitely that. This to me smells kind of like a lavender baby powder. It's very clean. It's very powdery to my nose. And yeah, it's lavender. It's really, really beautiful. It's got just the very slightest touch of sweetness, like hardly any at all. Layered over my Sleepy Lotion, though, it was so beautiful. It was really hot that day. It was very humid, and I like sweat all day that day, but I just kept getting these beautiful whiffs of this fragrance. And yeah, that's why I love these. They just last absolutely forever. They're so worth the money because they're a designer fragrance that actually performs so well. So anyways, that is Burberry Brit Rhythm from Burberry London. Okay, next I wore one of the new Sugarful fragrances that I just picked up. This is the brand new Sugarful Dream from Michel Germain. This is beautiful. I need to test this in the colder weather. It did just fine in the heat though. Again, it was like a 90-degree day. I have a feeling that this is going to age, or that as this ages, it's going to get better. I do love this fragrance though. It's lavender and blueberry and marshmallow. It's really, really beautiful. It's sweet. It's a little bit on the generic smelling side, but I still love it. It just smells youthful and fun and sweet and yummy and cozy. And like I say, I can't wait to test this one out in the winter. So this would be beautiful over, like layered over like a fluffy vanilla lotion or something. So anyways, that is Michel Germain Sugarful Dream. Okay, next is one that I just like started craving out of nowhere. This is Insolence from Guerlain, and this is the EDP formulation. I did used to have the EDT as well, but I ended up getting rid of the EDT just because it smelled exactly like the EDP. They smelled exactly the same to me. This is beautiful. This is like sweet, syrupy candied violets. That's exactly what it smells like. Sweet, syrupy, candied violets. I get a touch of the meteorites. It's got that kind of meteorites. If you've ever smelled the meteorites powdered balls, it's got a touch of that to it as well. So it's got a little bit of a makeup, like a makeup-y smell to it. It's really beautiful. Sweet, syrupy, candied violet, sugared, yummy, sweet, thick, heavy. This is more of a cold weather fragrance, which is why I wore it to bed, because this would probably be very, very nauseating in really hot weather, but I just started craving this. And so because I craved it, I wore it to bed, and this is an absolute beast. I woke up still smelling very heavily like Insolence. So yeah, absolute beast of a fragrance. Really beautiful, sweet, candied, drippy violets. I love it. So that is Guerlain Insolence. Okay, I'm gonna leave the tragedy for the end because it's so sad. Okay, next I wore Viktor and Rolf. This is Lavender Illusion, and this is beautiful. I love this. It's lavender, but it's got a ton of citrus in the top. I think it's finger lime. Like, that's the note. I think it's finger limes, like the note of finger limes. So it's really, really tart, citrusy. You get that very distinct lime note in the top. And then you've got the beautiful, like, herbaceous lavender in the middle. And it's just beautiful. This is very, very unisex. This is definitely, could be worn by anybody. It doesn't lean too feminine at all. And the lasting power on this one isn't horrible, but it's not great either. I get maybe 4 or 5 hours out of this before I do have to reapply. I didn't wear this to work. I do believe I was off the day that I wore this, so I didn't mind because, I don't mind reapplying it, but beautiful in the heat. It's like the perfect hot weather fragrance because it's very fresh. It's not sweet at all. It's crisp. It's got that beautiful lime note in the top, and it's just a gorgeous lavender fragrance. It's a very unique lavender too. I've never smelled, I've never smelled another lavender quite like this. So anyways, that is Viktor and Rolf, Lavender Illusion. Next is another one that I wore to bed because this thing does not last at all on me, but I do love the way this smells. It's funny, my mom was here when I wore this too. This is just the original Jennifer Aniston fragrance, and my mom was here when I wore this, and I got ready for bed and I sprayed this on, and then I went back out and my mom was like, "What is that perfume? It smells so good." I was like, "Oh, it's the Jennifer Aniston." It's so old school smelling. This reminds me of like an old school 80s beach fragrance. It really, really does. There's something about this that takes me straight back to my childhood in the 80s. Oh my gosh, like my young childhood. It's just beautiful. I love it. This lasts for all of 5 minutes, literally. You'll get, you'll get maybe 15, 20 minutes out of it before you really can't smell it anymore, which is why I wore it to bed, because I just wanted to enjoy it for that brief 15 minutes that I was still going to be awake. And and that's about what you get out of it. So anyways, that is the original Jennifer Aniston. Okay, and then last but not least, this is a tragedy. So I just wore this fragrance yesterday. I layered it over the Bath & Body Works Brown Sugar and Fig lotion. I have loved this fragrance, but I ended up coming down with like a stomach bug. It started yesterday afternoon and it lasted all through the night, and even into this morning. Like, I didn't start feeling better until about this afternoon. So it was about a 24-hour like stomach bug. And unfortunately, it was a throwing up stomach bug. And usually when I have throwing up bugs, like I get nauseous and I can't stand the smell of anything. Well, unfortunately, I had been wearing this perfume, and this is a beast of a perfume. This is so persistent. And I knew, because I kept getting a whiff of my perfume and it kept making me nauseous. And before I go on, this is Molinard Figue. Yeah, so I kept getting a whiff of this and it kept making me nauseous, and then I would throw up. And so now I'm gonna have to get rid of this because I won't be able to, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to wear it again because unfortunately I was wearing it when I got sick. So it's so tragic. This is a gorgeous fig fragrance though. It is, yeah, I'm even having a hard time just smelling it out of the bottle right now. It's beautiful. It's slightly sweet. I do believe it's got some sugar in here, or maybe possibly even some brown sugar in here. It's not an overly green fig. It's a really smooth, I wouldn't call it creamy. It's not like a milky fig or anything, but it's definitely like a smoother fig. It's not overly green or anything. It's just a really beautiful fig fragrance. So yeah, unfortunately that will be going up on Mercari, which was such a tragedy. But I knew immediately when I kept smelling this and then I would get nauseous, I knew this was gonna be a goner. So anyways, that is Molinard Figue. So anyways, guys, those are all of the fragrances that I wore last week. I do hope you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.